Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another video game review. But not just another video game review. This one is special. But before we get into it, let me ask you all a question, if you don't mind. Have you ever had a goal that seemed impossible? Have you ever had something that seemed out of reach? Something that took you days, weeks, months, maybe even years to accomplish that you seemingly couldn't accomplish? The task seemed too tall, the mountain seemed too high, and you felt like you couldn't reach it. Well, if you ever have felt like that, or if you're feeling like that currently, hopefully this video is a testament to the fact that you can indeed do it, because that's exactly what I did. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to review The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, a little bit of backstory when it comes to me in this game. Or I guess, for starters, first we gotta get this out of the way. I am not professional. Not a professional video game reviewer. Not a professional video game analyst. Not even a professional video game player. Just a man who enjoys good time. And I had a fantastic time. Not just with the game itself, but also accomplishing my goal. So, it's time for a little background. So, I've mentioned it a few times here on the channel. I, before this game, had never beaten a Legend of Zelda video game. I hadn't done so. Oh, I've tried. I've tried multiple times. There was a few Legend of Zelda games I've played. I had Ocarina of Time. I'm 3D for my 2DS. In fact, it's still on there because my 2DS is actually like over there. Or I point to it off screen, but it's right over there. I had played Links to the Past. For the Super Nintendo, I had the SNES Classic, that controller. You remember when those were a thing? I had, and I currently have, uh, Link's Awakening, also for the Switch. In addition, I have Wind Waker for the Wii U. I played that at not too long ago. I bought Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess, both for the Wii, so I will have to play those at some point as well. Um, but yeah, I had several Zelda games in my collection, including this one. Now, excuse me. Hey, now this wasn't a recent purchase. I didn't recently purchase Breath of the Wild. This I had for a few years. This was one of the first games I got, excuse me, when I got my Nintendo Switch. So I got my Nintendo Switch back in 2019, and I walked into GameStop one day and I bought a Nintendo Switch and I bought some games. This was not the first one of the first games that I bought when I initially bought my Switch. That honor actually goes to Super Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Sword, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think I've mentioned it before on the channel, but not too long after, maybe like a couple days afterward, I bought Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Switch. Why didn't I buy it at GameStop? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm sure it was on the shelves, but for some reason I didn't pick it up. But I eventually did pick it up not too long after and so I had it for my Switch. And I played. Oh, also, I think one of the other like first games I had was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 for the Switch. So, um, so it was those games. But like I said, I got Breath of the Wild afterwards. Now I played Breath of the Wild then, and around when I first got my Switch. I tried it. I tried to beat it. I couldn't do it. The thing about a lot of Legend of Zelda games is they are not short games. They will take a little bit. It's And that's how RPGs slash JRPGs are. A lot of them will log you some hours. So I tried playing it. I failed to beat it. So last year, I made a goal for myself. I was going to beat Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I gave myself a well, seemingly 6 month deadline, but in reality it was seven. And starting in the month of June, the previous year, I decided I was going to wipe my save file for Breath of the Wild. Admittedly, that save file well, didn't contain a whole lot, but I decided I would wipe my save file, start on a completely clean slate, and completely start the game over from the beginning. And my goal was to beat Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild by the end of the year. So, it was quite a journey going to beat the game, and I'm gonna walk you through it. And I have some clips here here along the journey so you can see the progress. Here's the first one showing me completely starting on the new save file. Okay, here it is. My Switch and got Legend of Zelda in here. So what we're officially gonna do, uh, open that. Wait a second. Give it a second to boot up. And now, see here we go. New game. Override previous save data. I just want to see when the last time I played it first. And pardon my kind of dirty table. Last time I played it was back in 2022. Damn, that was later than that, but yeah, that's how far I made it last time. But we're starting new. We're beating this thing this year. So new game. Override previous save data. Well, there we go. So we're starting this thing. And it's gonna reboot. So I'm gonna play it for a little bit. I'm recording this June 1st. As you can see from the end of my computer. So yeah, here we go. So you wake up in the Shrine of Awakening, and having no memory of how you got there, not even who you are, but a voice does call out to you, who saying that your help is required. Help me, he Link One Kenobi. You're my only hope. So Link eventually he climbs out. How you have to climb him out of the Shrine of Awakening, in nothing but his underoos, and he walks out of the cave, into Hyrule, and that beautiful first shot of Hyrule, it is something, man. Like showing off the environment, just how absolutely, excuse me, how absolutely gorgeous is the environment and looks. Like it definitely is something. But eventually, as you're getting your bearings, you run into an old man and who has a paraglider. He says he will give you his paraglider if you visit his few shrines for him, four to be exact, and you get some spirit orbs. So you visit the four shrines, and he partially shows you how to use your Sheikah slate. It's so you go to the fourth shrine, and when you go, you get some ability. The abilities you get are bomb or remote bomb, square or circular. Or you get magnesis, you get stasis, and you get cryonis. So which will be very essential in your journey through Hyrule. But the old man reveals himself to be the fallen king who fell to Calamity Ganon and 100 years ago that you helped fight off. Yes, he knows who Link is and he tells you who this, and you get his memory. And that's also a common theme through the game is memories, coming back to Link of what happened 100 years ago. And he tells you to help his daughter, Princess Zelda, who is still trapped inside Hyrule Castle. Battling Calamity Ganon. So, your her objective is clear. You got how to stop Calamity Ganon. But first, yeah, complete some quests as you who have to meet up with both Impa and Pura. Impa tells you that you have to go and gather the four divine beasts. He's that being Garuda, Va Meadow, Va Rudania, and Va Naboris. It's all represented by champions who you fought alongside 100 years ago. Oh, and all who will be crucial in fighting Calamity Ganon. And you also meet up with Pura, who in a Hateno village, who has the research lab, and you get to the a camera function on your Sheikah Slate so you can take pictures, and you're tasked with taking pictures of different landmarks that are from Link's memories. So. Kind of to help get your feet wet and really help get you used to things and used to how your Sheikah Slate works and everything. And and hey, you have your assignments and you have what you need to do. You have essentially what you need to complete the job. So you got to free the divine beasts, who are all under control by different versions of Calamity Ganon, and you got to head to Hyrule Castle and stop Calamity Ganon himself after you pick up the Master Sword. Right, so Link's got quite a bit to do. And that's exactly what I did. So I set off on my quest, and the first three divine beasts were relatively easy. The first I went after, funnily enough, up in my previous playthroughs when I tried to beat Breath of the Wild, as I mentioned, I had tried a few times. Were the same as this time, and that being Varuhuda, which is the easiest divine beast he's to free. He so Oh, you head to Zora's domain. You help out the Zora. You learn about Mifa, who was the daughter of the king, and you team up with the prince, and you free Varuda, and pretty much gain the trust of the Zora. You even get Mifa's armor that she crafted specifically for Link. And out of all four her champions, Mifa has the closest kind of link to Link, them being lovers and everything, or and it's more so it's supposed to be he kind of almost one-sided romance in a way, but they also treat it as very romantic between the two. You get the armor, you get the trident, the light scale trident, and that is and the first divine beast is freed. Then I headed to the Rito village in order to free the next divine beast, Edo. You you learn more about the Rito, and their champion Rivali, who helped out Link back in the day as well. Do some quests as free. Divine Beast Va Meadow. Oh, it's also worth mentioning the different versions of Ganon that you have to face. There's Water Blight Ganon in Meadow, and not Meadow. There's Water Blight Ganon in Ruda. there is Windblight Ganon in Meadow, and once you make your way to Goron City, in order to free Rudania, you who face Fireblight Ganon. And now, how the thing about how Goron City heading there is that it's very, very hot, and you will catch on fire, which I may or may not have done, and that will not be disclosed at this time. But you have to get some elixirs, and that's the other thing as well in this game. And you're able to scavenge. First of all, you're going to be scavenging a lot of stuff. There is a lot of enemies to battle throughout Hyrule, and you're going to be gathering a lot of materials. One thing that's crucial are elixirs. And you're going to need to scavenge the area to find the right elixirs to take on just about anything that Hyrule and its inhabitants have to throw at you. And if you go around to the different villages and everything, and you're able to have different armors, or you're able to have different equipment, such as different melee weapons, such as swords, bats. That's what you're also able to loot from the fallen enemy. He's but you're also able to grab bows and arrows, and arrows I found to be very, very crucial. You'll see what I mean in a few moments, but everything within Hyrule, and its inhabitants that you either run into. There's a variety of quests, and you're going to be a variety of people along your journey. But the enemies you'll face, and the quests will allow you to gain a variety of resources. And excuse me, I made sure to stockpile as much as I could. I had hundreds of arrows, ranging from fire arrows, ice arrows, bomb arrows, electric arrows. I even found a guardian arrow, which you're gonna need because as Hyrule is also swarming with guardians, who at one point fought alongside the princess and Link, but now have been turned against you by Calamity Ganon, and they pack a punch. If they see you, it's almost game over. The other thing is shrines, and there are all kinds of shrines throughout. You're able to gather spirit orbs, and you got your introduction through the shrines through the quest of the old man slash the king, but there's all kinds of shrines throughout, and every time you complete a shrine, and well, for starters, you're going to get for starters, you're sometimes going to get some very useful resources. It's not just equipment, but also, you also get hit stuff like ruby. He's uh, he's in all kinds of other gems that you can sell. Or stones and everything that you can sell for a high price. He'll get some luminous stone and stuff like that that can be used for crafting. And so there's all kinds of resources scattered throughout Hyrule at your disposal. But you are able to gather everything. But I freed Va Meadow and Va Rudania. I was able to craft some fireproof elixirs once once I was in Goron City. I thankfully had enough to afford, or between selling some stuff and also the rupees that you also find scattered throughout. I was able to buy the Firebreaker armor, which protects against the very, very hot temperature of Goron City, he and its surroundings, which makes sense considering it's right next to a volcano. Oh, but but the first three divine beasts were freed. He'd with, for the most part, relative ease. I didn't run into too many issues. It was just a couple hiccups along the way. But eventually, the first three divine beasts were freed. Alright, so Divine Beast Varuda is complete. So I actually completed this yesterday. I'm recording this on June 14th. And we've freed the first Divine Beast. I went for Varuda first because it's the easiest. But now it's time to rescue the other three. So, yep, so far we're making really good progress. Alright, so as you can see, at Divine Beast Va Meadow. So we are halfway through the Divine Beast. So I'm actually recording this on June 20th. So yeah, we are making very, very good progress. At this rate, I might not even need the full, I guess, 7 months, 6, 7 months, up until the end of the year. But hopefully we can keep this progress going. But yep, so just a couple more, then we gotta get the hero sword, and then we will be good to go. And thankfully, at this point now, I've officially made it farther than my other playthroughs. The other times I've attempted to beat the game. So yeah, I'm very, very excited, very satisfied with my progress so far. All right, so Divine Beast Varudania is complete. So I'm recording this on the 28th, I believe. Today is, I can check my watch. Yep, the 28th. So I actually finished this yesterday, and so we are making fantastic progress when it comes to that. And we just have one Divine Beast left in the Gerudo Desert, Vandaboris, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Now, Vandaboris, I attempted during one of my earlier playthroughs before, obviously, the restart. And I made a decent way through the quest. I didn't. I got like the outfit and everything, and obviously that, but I didn't fully complete that. So this time around, I'm gonna do that. So oh yep. So that is next up on the chopping block. Then grab the hero sword, and then Calamity Ganon, I am coming for you, I suppose. Unless there's other things I have to do. What I also decided I'm going to do is I'm going to show the stats, so, of like the amount of shrines and stuff I've completed, and stuff like that. So, I'll actually have to show it on the map. So, you see I have a good portion of the map unlocked. So I'm gonna try to get all the towers so I can fully complete the map, but I'm also try to do as many shrines and stuff as I can as well, and then we'll do like I don't know if the game has an automatic tally or if I have to tally it up myself, but yeah, we're gonna do a little stat when it comes to that. But yep, we are almost there. So I'm actually making very, very good progress, and that's awesome. So, I guess you could say, for the most part, things were going pretty easily. A little too easily, if you ask me. Because, admittedly, and me not beating a Zelda game is no excuse for not knowing that Nintendo would have one more trick up their sleeve. Because, alas, as Ganon may have lost the other three Divine Beasts to me already, but he wasn't letting Vandaboris go without a fight. Right. He first of all getting in uh, to the whole quest line that even gets you in and to Gerudo Town is already pretty hard enough. You have to gather for all the you have to gather all the materials necessary to dress as a Vi, aka a female, so that you can sneak your way into Gerudo Town, so that you can begin and so that you can even begin the quest to freeing Van Nabor. Which is pretty funny that you who even have to do all this, but like I said, not giving it up without a fight. So you're able to sneak into Gerudo Town dressed as a aka female. And it's fun. And it's even funnier because the princess automatically knows you're a dude right away, and that you're Link and from 100 years ago. But eventually you are able to do what needs to be done. You who head into the hideout of the Iga clan, and in order to get it Urbosa's medallion, and you grab that so that you can go and fight a Thunderblight Ganon and in Vannaboris. Heading into Vannaboris, things seemed relatively calm enough. It's also worth mentioning as you go into each divine beast. There's a bit of a puzzle. You start off by using your Sheikah slate to gain access to the map of that divine beast, and you're able to manipulate it around in order to move it a certain way so that you're able to access different areas of it. It's whether it's manipulating the trunk of Ruda, or manipulating in, like the torso area Redania, or having a meadow tilt a certain way. Hey, but you're able to do that, and eventually I made my way to Thunderblight Ganon, where I encountered slight problem. He was freaking tough. Not even just because it's a boss fight and you expect the boss fight to be pretty hard, especially with it being Ganon and but also the fact that he deals a lot of damage via thunder. You will get shocked hard, and when you get shocked in this game, you drop your equipment and you take a lot of damage. So I found myself in the few attempts losing quite a bit and quite fast. So I needed a solution. And and the thing about me is I always love a good puzzle. So I asked myself, how am I going to defeat Thunderblight again? So I scoured the internet for her info. Oh, thankfully the game is gracious enough to let you exit and re-enter the Divine Beast at will. As you're still actively completing and you don't have to redo everything. You can just go right to the boss. That being that particular Ganon. But and I was trying to figure out what I needed to do, and that's when I learned that I needed the rubber set. It's rubber. The rubber armor set gives a great deal of resistance to electricity, especially when you have the whole set. Now I was able to find the other two shrines, that gave me the helmet and the rubber helmet and the rubber thighs, but for the main for pretty much everything else, that being the torso and the arm pieces, which are counted as one and are just called the rubber armor, I had to complete excuse me, I accidentally hit my mic there. I had to complete the Trial of Thunder, where you have to survive the rain and the thunder slash electricity slash lightning, of course, in order to access the shrine that gets you in and gets you the rubber armor, or the main rubber armor piece. And thankfully the trial wasn't that hard. Or the main trick is to not walk in with anything metal. Oh no. Oh, so no metal swords and no metal shields. Well, thankfully, yeah, because I had been collecting so much, I was able to use I believe, a guardian shield that I picked up, and some type of weapon. I believe I had a Boko bat at so thankfully nothing metal on me. I was able to complete the Trial of Thunder, grab the rubber armor. Eventually I made my way back in, and I was able to defeat Thunderblight Ganon. And now, for this and a lot of bosses, remember how I said arrows were your friend? And they absolutely were, especially not, Ice and Bomb Arrow. I was able to defeat Thunderblight Ganon, and alas, the last Divine Beast had been freed. So now all that was left was to grab the Master Sword and defeat Calamity Ganon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 25th, aka the day before Thanksgiving, and I have finally, after several months, have freed Nigelverse. So as you can see, all the divine beasts have been freed. That quest line is complete, and perhaps more importantly, I got the hero's tunic. I think that's the name of it. AKA the tunic that Link wears on the cover of this game that you've been waiting so long to unlock. Champion's tunic, that is. So I have the champion's tunic. All four of the divine beasts have been freed. Now it's off to fight Ganon. First, I have to go and grab the hero's sword, and then yeah, we're just about in the home stretch. So not that far to go. I'm hoping perhaps that we can have this done by weekend's end, if not next week. So we are on great track. We had a little bit of a detour, but now we're on great track. Now we do have this Find the Fairy Fountain quest. Considering it's a main quest, I'm guessing it's more than likely important, so I'll be doing that. But yeah, hopefully next time I check in here, Ganon will be defeated. Alright, so with all four divine beasts in tow, now back under my possession, and I eventually made my way toward the Master Sword. It's also worth mentioning the gap between the third divine beast, that being Va Rudania, and the last one, Va Naboris, was quite a bit, as you heard from my little video log there. But eventually, I made my way. I did take some interim breaks. Takes in between not just divine beasts, but also in between getting the last divine beast and getting the master sword. But I knew I had to buckle down because I was slowly running out. But eventually I made my way through the lost woods, found not just the great Deku tree, but also found the Master Sword, right, which was stuck in stone. Well, except instead of it being King Arthur who pulled out the sword in the stone, it would be Link. However, sadly, there was one more problem. You needed 13 complete hearts. You need 13 hearts in order to pull out the Master Sword. Otherwise, you were going to overexert yourself and essentially faint, and you would be revived, of course, but you wouldn't be strong enough, to pull out the master sword from the stone. And thankfully, I had, or not thankfully, unfortunately, I had too few hearts. I think I had about 9 or 10. So I had to figure out a way to get extra hearts. I once again scoured the internet, which I consulted the internet for just about everything in order to figure out not just the proper order of the divine beast, not proper order, but it's the order from easiest to hardest. That's why I went in the order that I did of the divine beast. But I also figured out the rubber armor. But I also then now had to figure out how do I get extra hearts? The first option would be to just seek out every shrine I could and gather as many spirit orbs as I could. And every time you gather 4 spirit orbs, you can pray to a statue, and they'll either give you an extra heart or a stamina vessel. Well, and at this point, I had invested a lot in stamina vessels. And the main reason I did that is because, as I figured, or because every time you defeat one of the bosses for the Divine Beast, you get an extra heart container anyway. So I figured, oh, I'm getting extra hearts anyway. Might as well might as well upgrade the stamina vessels with the other spirit orbs that I get. But um, but I could do a bunch of shrine quests and do that to get hearts, but that would take quite a bit, and we were kind of on the clock. But then I found option two. This is the horn statue. Well, it's found right near Kakariko Village, and you can come up to it. It has its own quest line, and where it takes a heart from you, heart or stamina. I forget exactly which one, and you have to ask for it back. And essentially, after you finish that, then you can go to the statue and interact with it, and you can trade your heart containers for stamina vessels, hills, and or vice versa. If I wanted to if I wanted to grab the Master Sword, I essentially had to make a deal with the horn statue. Eventually I was able to get all the heart containers that I needed, and I was able to pull out the Master Sword. So now that I had the Master Sword, I thought about going back to the horn statue and trading in my stamina vessels for trading in my heart containers for my stamina vessels back, but ultimately I decided not to. Ooh, but now that I had everything I needed, it was time to go fight Calamity Ganon. It's also worth mentioning, after freeing all the Divine Beasts and freeing the Master Sword, I also got the Hero's Tunic, aka the blue tunic that Link wears. Uh, that had Link wears on the cover of this very game. But it was time to go fight Calamity again, and so I made sure to gather everything. And it's also worth mentioning I would go back and forth or to the Zora domain and use their fire to cook. Like, that's the other thing, you get to cook quite a bit. That's how you're able to make elixirs and all kinds of meals and everything. Especially when you kill different animals, you get different like meat and everything, or you're able to find grains, herbs, even able to find like rice and everything. And Oh, between not just Divine Beast, but also when I had some downtime between quests and everything, I would pretty much go to Zora's domain, go in front of the fire, and channel my inner Bobby Flay. Hey, and that's exactly what I did as I then made my way over to Hyrule Castle to fight Calamity Ganon. And I made sure I was stocked up on material, had plenty of arrows, I had the Master Sword in hand. Now, unlike the other weapons, which eventually break if you use them too often, even the different hero weapons, which is also worth mentioning, you get a different ability when you free a Divine Beast. After freeing Ruda, you get it's you get Mifa's Grace, which revives you and gives you several extra hearts, extra temporary hearts, which you also can do from cooking certain meals. But uh, you get Mifa's Grace, you get Dark's Protection, which allows you to block and which essentially allows you to block with extra theatrics and in a way parry. You get Rivali's Gale, which allows you to which allows you to use a gust of wind to fly up into the air and then paraglide down. And then you get Urbosa's Fury, which channels lightning. And now, between those four abilities, Urbosa's Fury and Rivali's Gale, I ended up not really using that often, and which I probably should have, because Urbosa's Fury, from what I heard, is pretty powerful, but I ended up not really needing it. But I eventually made my way through Hyrule Castle, which was crawling with all different guardians, and but I made it. Pat has made it up to Calamity Ganon and began the fight. This was it. It was time to save Princess Zelda and save all of Hyrule from the reign of Calamity Ganon. And now, if I'm understanding correctly, people had debated this, but if I'm understanding correctly, as soon as the tutorial is over, you can head straight for Calamity Ganon and fight him. It's very much not advised, but I believe you can. Some people argue that you can't, and but some people are saying that you can. And however, what I learned is after freeing the all four divine beasts, it knocks off theatrics play showing the divine beasts shooting their beams right at Ganon, and all four beams hitting Calamity Ganon, and it takes off about half of his health bar, or which does give you a very big head start when it comes to fighting Calamity Ganon. That being said, he still wasn't easy. Calamity Ganon throws quite a bit at you, and it was definitely a game of bobbing and weaving. And I temporarily threw away Legend of Zelda and pulled out Punch Out because I had to duck and dodge many of Calamity Ganon's attacks, not just hitting him with the Master Sword when I got the opportunity, but hitting him right in his eye with different arrows, especially bomb arrows, which I made sure to have several but I pretty much I pretty much rained fury on Calamity Ganon, but Ganon was not done yet, because after you fight Calamity Ganon, and then you have to battle Dark Beast Ganon. However, this is essentially a victory lap, because in a certain way, because as you get on your horse, you pretty much pelt him with arrows. Zelda gives you the gives you the bow of light, I believe he was called. Yep, Princess Zelda gives you the bow of light with unlimited arrows. And you pretty much pepper her Calamity Ganon Dark Beast Ganon at different spots, eventually flying up off of your horse into the air, or throwing the arrow right in Dark Beast Ganon's eyes to finish him off once and for all. Oh, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, I had finally done it. I had beaten The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Calamity Ganon was toast. Hyrule was freed. I had actually beat it right on New Year's Eve. With that, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was finished. December 31st, 2025. New Year's Eve. I have finally done it. See that star? See what it says? I have, if it will unblur, I have finally beaten The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've done it. I've accomplished my goal. Whew. Let's go. Alright, so that, ladies and gentlemen, was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and my journey to completing it. Excuse me. In terms of what I liked and disliked about the game, starting with what I liked, just about everything with this game absolutely works. There are a lot of people who consider which might seem kind of crazy, considering this is one of the more in a way recent Legend of Zelda games. This game is about to turn 10 years old next year, which is absolutely nuts. But a lot of people do consider this to be one of, if not the absolute best Legend of Zelda games ever. And while I haven't finished any of the other Legend of Zelda games, this is my first Legend of Zelda game that I finished. I think it'd be hard to argue, because this game is fantastic. It, um, it has just about everything, and there's plenty of quests throughout the world to keep you engaged. Between going after the divine beast, there's a great bit of challenge in the bosses, and there's plenty of resources to where you don't within the game to where you don't feel stuck. Like once you go and seek out everything, and then it makes things in the game much easier to take on. There's all kinds of very fun, interesting, colorful characters. There's plenty of callbacks and everything to other Zelda games now put through this filter of it being this universe. And that's the thing that a lot of people love about different Legend of Zelda games is a lot of them feel different enough to really get their own identities, but also feel connected. And this definitely feels like a Legend of Zelda game in a lot of different ways. And the environment of Hyrule is absolutely full. Well, like this is a beautiful, beautiful game. There is a lot to do, of course, but there is also a lot to see, and there's several different environments for this game, whether it be the volcanoes. The icy plains, the beautiful Hyrule field, the jungles and everything. There's all kinds of great stuff throughout. And even all the exploring I did, gathering resources and finding the divine beast, doesn't even scratch the surface. And this map is absolutely massive, and there's extra incentive to really explore the map because there's towers you can activate, which open up different parts of the which and not open up different parts of the map, but make them acceptable to view and complete within your Sheikah Slate. I did have a personal goal. Well, I wanted to activate all the towers in the game. I ended up not being able to do that in time. Maybe some other time. Maybe I can go back to my save file. Oh, and activate all the towers at some point. But there's that. There's the shrines, in which the shrines have a variety of different things to do. There's various puzzles. Some of them are tests of strength where you battle the guardians, and some of the fights do get pretty tricky with the guardians. But but yeah, there's just all kinds of fun stuff. Like this is a very fun and seeing the story and seeing how everything plays out, you definitely get to that apocalyptic end of the world feel when it comes to this game and how it's presented. It it and seeing Link's memories play out, and seeing his connections to the other champions that he knew 100 years ago. And seeing the weight of what Calamity Ganon has done on and it definitely hits you. Now, like I said, hey, you don't really form as much connection with Daruk and Rivali, but especially with Urbosa and Mifa, you definitely feel that connection. And I do love how those are fleshed out, and as well as Link and Zelda, seeing their dynamic. There's several games where we see the dynamic between Link and Zelda, and we see it play out. Oh, and seeing it here with Link being Zelda's protector, literally falling to Calamity Ganon in order to try to save her, and going back to save her is really great stuff, and it makes for a really interesting and engaging game from a storytelling perspective. And now I can't comment too much on the soundtrack. I did hear the soundtrack was very good for the game, but unfortunately because I carry my Switch with me, I usually take it on the go. I usually have my Switch on silent, and but I'm sure the soundtrack was very, very good, of course. Now, in terms of what I didn't quite like as much about the game, and really, some of these are nitpicky. Some of these are are legitimate, and some stuff that other people have echoed. But in terms of some of my gripes with the game, the Guardians can fighting them out and about while you're exploring definitely can be a pain in the ass. Like a lot of them take a lot of hits to bring down, and they have no, but it doesn't take them a lot of hits to bring you down. Like you will fall almost relatively, I don't want to say easily, but in a lot of ways relatively quickly, and it's definitely going to hurt. Now, oh, thankfully, there's workarounds. You can parry at the exact time with your shield to be able to combat them. But uh, but man, it's definitely tough at times. The other thing is I can see why some people would be upset that Link didn't quite have full didn't have the relationships fully fleshed out with the other two champions, hence that being Rivali and Daruk. But like we see them interact and everything, but I imagine we would probably get more or with going back through memory, because I'm sure some of it will be fleshed out a little bit more if I finish the memories quest, as or maybe in the DLC, because yes, this game does have DLC. Hey, I didn't want to buy or play the DLC until I beat the base game, but now that the base game has been completed, am I going for the DLC? I don't know yet. It, I'm sure I probably will at some point. I mean, but for now, I definitely want to soak in my victory, and that's exactly what we have achieved here. Sure, so, excuse me, what a ride, what a journey, but it's not over yet. And I got other Legend of Zelda games, including this one that I'm wearing on my shirt. So, oh, maybe this won't be the last time you hear about Legend of Zelda on the channel. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And kind of to echo what I said at the beginning of this video, if there's one thing I want you all to take away from this video, is that you can truly do anything that you set your mind to. Who, uh, if you told me some time ago, that I eventually would be Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, well, I wouldn't have called it impossible, but I would have said, "Wow, how do I do that?" But there's plenty of things I'm sure that you haven't done, not because you don't want to do it, but because you feel that it's hard, that that some would even say impossible. Or some stuff that you're like, oh, that's gonna take too long, or that takes skill that I don't have. But I'm here to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. I believe in you, and anything you wish to accomplish, anything you set your mind to, who put your pedal to the metal, and you can accomplish great things. And whether it's video games, whether it's anything else in your life, whether it's a sport, whatever it is I'm here to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. And now, what you want to do in your life may not be exactly the same thing that I want to do in life, and you know what? That's perfectly okay. Hey, but I'm here to tell you, whatever it is you want to do, whether it's a goal you've been putting off for quite some time, I'm here to tell you, do it. Go after it. It's it Yes, and I know why a lot of people don't go after their goals, because they're afraid of failing. They're afraid of coming up short, and they're afraid of not quite making the mark. But here's the thing: even if always shoot for the moon. Even if you don't make the moon, you'll at least land among the stars. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you know every single time I upload a video so you never miss an upload. Now, not every review of mine is going to be quite a production like this one, but this one felt really special, so I wanted to pour my all into it. But let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on this game and my review, and do you think this is the best Legend of Zelda game of all time? But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.